turning this into this.
I recently got this Hummer H3T, and you know we got to start modifying it. This video will also apply to Chevy and GMC trucks from the 2007 to 2013 era. I'll put those up on screen. So the specific one I purchased is from Mynoway. So you probably already know how this works, but basically factories in China create these products, sell them as unbranded, and Amazon and eBay suppliers buy them in bulk and then attach a creative, or in this case kind of uncreative, name for them. So here's what it looks like. You'll probably be able to find this under a few different names. I ended up going with red for more of an OEM look. You can get these in clear and smoke, but I'm not too much of a fan of those. Now this specific one costs around $50, which is a little bit more than some of the other ones on Amazon. The main reason I bought this one is that the brake lights on here are diffused, meaning you can't see the individual LEDs on here. When you turn it on, it creates a glow shape on here, which gives it a much more modern look. A lot of vehicles now are going towards this style. For the actual bed light or the cargo light, this still uses the individual lights on here, and the purpose of that is kind of to shape and funnel the light so it all goes into the bed, similar to how a LED bar or LED pod works. It harnesses and focuses that light so it only goes in the bed, so you get the maximum brightness. Now the one thing that I don't like about this that I really couldn't see from any of the photos or the reviews is that this is definitely a darker color than the original. I am a fan of the kind of bright red that the OEM has, but I'll have to live with the maroon. Another strange thing, I'm not really sure why they do this, but it seems like on the kind of outer edges of this all around, they have like some kind of clear coat or something on here that kind of makes the finish of it dull, essentially. So in the middle right here, you can see very clear lens, but when you go to the top, bottom, or the sides, it kind of looks more like a plastic semi-transparent type thing, but I think this is all made out of the same plastic. Not really sure why they did that. Taking this out couldn't be any easier. You just have two screws holding it in. In the case of my H3T, I actually have Phillips head screws in there, so I'm going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. On your Sierra or Silverado, you could have a T25 or T30 Torx, so if you don't have one of those, get one. Take a look to see what you have there. But let's just go ahead and start unscrewing it. All right, once we get the screw out, we can go ahead and carefully remove this. We'll go ahead and unclip this. So just press down on here. We're not going to be reusing the bulb socket harness in the back of here, so just leave that in there. We'll go ahead and clean this up. All clean. You can put on the new brake light now. Plug in the connector. Hide the wire. Now to put on the screws. The gasket already comes pre-installed on here, so you don't have to do anything. Just go ahead and bolt it in, so it's already ready to go. I will say this one is definitely a lot thicker. All right, and that's it. Super easy install. Now I'm going to use this battery that I have right here to hold down the brake, and then I'll turn on the courtesy lights so we can take a look and see what it looks like. Now that we got our new light installed, I want to see how much brighter this is over stock. So I went ahead and took some photos of the before and after to kind of compare. If we go ahead and flip back and forth, we can see that our new aftermarket LED is a whole lot brighter. It covers almost the entire bed plus the tailgate. If we look at our OEM one, we could see that the OEM light barely illuminates the tailgate at all. So that's a definite improvement. One thing that the OEM one does is it's slightly better closer to the end of the bed. You can see that the aftermarket one does light up, but it is slightly darker there. But that being said, it's a definite improvement over stock. Now you guys would actually be surprised. Not every single aftermarket LED is going to perform like this. I was taking a look on Amazon and some other places. Not all of them illuminate the entire beds. In fact, Morimoto, which is a huge quality name in automotive lighting, recently just came out with a 2007 to 2013 third brake light called the XB3. pretty, and it literally only illuminates half the bed. I mean, this is a light that costs like $235, $234. It does look really cool, but that kind of stinks that something that expensive doesn't perform that well. To see how much brighter the new one is, I also went ahead and grabbed my lux meter, placed it in 2 different spots on the truck, and took some measurements of the OEM light versus the new aftermarket light. And after doing some math, it turns out that this new aftermarket light is about 8 times brighter than the originals. All right, and that's everything. So this is probably one of the easiest installs I've ever done on this channel before. Now this new H3T Alpha, this is going to be my daily driver. My H3 SUV Alpha is not going to be going anywhere. That's still going to be used for off-road Hummer Club events and whatnot, but I wanted to get something I could use daily, so I'm going to keep this relatively stock. I want to do more OEM Plus upgrades, modernize it a bit. Now I know it looks completely stock, but I've already done a number of things to it, so I'll probably go ahead and put a compilation video together, like a build log of all the things that I've done to it so far at some point. So that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you later.